Wow, so they really made a remake of Conan the Barbarian, huh?
What? Dude, what are you talking about?
You know, Conan the Barbarian with I think it was with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then there was like a remake in the 2010s or something.
Dude, that's not the movie you're reviewing.
That's not the movie?
No.
What?
Alright, think about it like this. So minus Conan.
Minus Conan?
Yeah, no, just take out the...
Minus... What's that?
Yeah, that's the title.
So what? It's just called Barbarian?
Ah! Oh my god! I'm so sorry, but dude, you should have seen your face.
Yeah. I have a question, guy.
Yeah, anything, dude. I'm glad we're friends.
What is wrong with you? Hi, guys. I had to kick the chair to the side to prove that I can stand up. Yeah, I have legs. They're off camera, but they're real. I'm also totally not still rattled from that title sequence. I mean, yeah, for those of you wondering, the Catch-Up 2 is being worked on. I'm still working on scheduling and shooting some scenes with some people. So in the meantime, when there's lull periods, I'm going to be getting some videos out to you guys, some reviews, and even some new original little ideas I have cooking up. But in the meantime, we have ourselves a little cool movie by the name of Barbarian. Barbarian is a horror mystery movie starring Bill Skarsgård, Georgina Campbell, and Justin Long. The movie opens with a young woman arriving at her Airbnb in the dead of night to discover a guy is already staying there and the place has been double booked. And then eerie things begin to ensue as she decides to stay the night with the stranger. Going into this movie, all I knew about it, from the trailers at least, was it was from the producers of It. And knowing Bill Skarsgård was also starring in the movie, who was, in fact, Pennywise in those It remakes, I was excited. Like, he's an underrated actor. I just think that was a phenomenal performance, and more people need to know about this guy, because he has some talent and you can really see the potential in that Pennywise performance. So I was excited to see what type of creep he would be, basically. And
whoa, how did we let these spoilers slip on by? What is wrong with you? How the heck?
You're fired. I think this movie is really good at doing two things. The first thing is combining the more classic schlocky horror of like, don't go down in the basement, what's wrong with you? Type movie with more of the modern horror sensibilities with how it's shot, how it's executed, and how the camera moves around. But it also feels like one of these elevated horrors, as Scream put it this year. More modern take on horror films with how it's shot and how it's made. It just expertly combines these things together, and they're able to have their cake and eat it too with both elevated and B-movie horror almost simultaneously, which I'll get more into as the plot unfolds on this video. And just to emphasize, this movie's a real roller coaster, and I think it openly wants you to cheer as well as get mad at it with how it handles certain characters and elements. And I just think the lighting and shadows are used super effectively, as well as the spatial geography to create an unsettling atmosphere. So creepy. Actually, let's get into that first. I think this movie uses its spatial geography so well, as it establishes with camera angles the layout of the small, quaint house the characters are staying at, as well as introducing this claustrophobic feeling that starts to creep up on you throughout the movie as you go deeper and deeper into this film. I also like how shots establish where objects are in relativity to characters, whether it be that object will become useful later on in the film, or just to show that the environment is like lived in. Every little thing serves a purpose. I think this perfectly segues into the cinematography. The cinematography is so well utilized, and there's just so many like quiet storytelling moments, whether it's just showing the passage of time through a dryer being done with its load, to showing how our character thinks with what objects they look at and what they notice and take in from the environment. And there's some beautiful stylized transitions littered throughout the movie. Whether it be day to morning, or circle thing to circle thing, or oh my gosh, or the circular formation of a dryer to the circular formation of a coffee cup. There's also a lot of great sweeping movements of the camera, whether it is to move the plot along and give this energy to the film, or to establish something we, the audience, haven't previously seen. So we've got the spatial geography and the cinematography working together to create this very creepy environment. But what else is there? Oh, there's the lighting. The lighting is so good. There's lighting in this movie. I think I legit broke that. But yeah, I think the lighting is perfectly used to creep the audience out, as the shadows cover up just enough to always have this looming unknown presence in every situation. Like, you don't know what's in those shadows and what's beyond. There's always this feeling that something's just around the corner. And this always gives the darkness an eerie intensity and unsafeness to it that just percolates throughout the movie. So you're always on the edge of your seat, always on your toes, feeling the creepy bumps, the goosebumps. How did I forget that?
I get those goosebumps every time.
And sometimes from this intensity comes jump scares. I think this movie has a brilliant balance of both traditional jump scares that unsettle the audience, but also like captures the paranoid mind state of certain characters in the moment, as well as slowing down the pace and creating these creepy, unsettling moments that don't have a jump scare. So you're just left with the intensity that's like brewing up. And so therefore, honestly, these moments are more intense than the jump scare moments because you get to release that tension. But in these moments, and the quieter moments, there's just, you're stuck in that situation. You have to deal with it. And these moments create a slowly building dread, whether it's distant yells for help in the dark or a creepy figure moving through it. And I mean, hats off to the sound design team, whether it's bumping noises or distant howls. The atmosphere it helps build is just unnerving. The soundtrack itself is cleverly used throughout the movie, whether it's distant calling, creepy calling voices, or booming sharp synths. The tracks are effectively placed to build tension, whether it's going down some stairs or pointing out an uneasiness the characters are feeling in the moment. Alright, the characters. I'm going to try to not get into any spoilers still with the characters, so I'm going to try to keep it light as possible without giving too much away, but getting the like base characteristics down. Georgina Campbell as the lead protagonist, wow, she is a clever character. Like, she always thinks through what the audience is thinking through, like whether or not she takes a moment to get there or not. She's making like, you know, the smart decisions, trying to think through everything, and you can see this observantness. But while making smart decisions, her downfall is almost her selflessness, which is kind of surprising. She just wants to do the right thing, which can pull her back into certain dangerous situations. And her character and theme become very interesting the more you watch the movie. Also forgot to mention her name, and the movie's called Tess. My bad. That's kind of important. Bill Skarsgård. Oh my gosh, this guy needs to have more roles, and the public need to know about this guy. He's just so charismatic in this movie while also being completely unsettling at moments. And he just gives off that perfect combination of charismatic while also being off-putting. There's just something not right about this guy. He needs more work, and I enjoyed his work in this movie, and he's going to be an underrated character from this movie. But the biggest surprise from this movie is Justin Long as Agent. Hi guys, it's me from Editing Future / Editing Past. Basically editing void. Basically, I had a bunch of footage where I rambled into a bunch of spoilers, and I think you need to go into this movie as blind as possible to truly enjoy it, so I didn't want to give those things away. I just got really passionate because I think this movie begs to be discussed. So basically, Justin Long's character is written on purpose to be difficult and challenging for the audience. Because of this, he ends up becoming one of the most entertaining parts of the movie, and you can tell Justin Long is just having a ball playing this character. I also touched on the dichotomy created between his character and the main character. Basically, this allows the movie to have a campy and serious horror feeling without compromising the eerie tone. And I think that helps the movie have a very unique and entertaining appeal to it. Now I got you caught up. Back to the review. This movie's all about subverting expectations. Like, the first act of this movie could be a horror movie on its own. Like, it almost feels like a standalone movie. If you watched it by itself, it could be like a complete short film. So this movie constantly keeps you on your toes, and thus keeps it entertaining because you never know honestly what's going to happen next, because you think it's going to go one way, and it sets it up. It frames it like it is going to go this one way, but then it doesn't. They don't do it. They do something different. That's why I think one of the best merits of this movie is subverting expectations and being different, and being able to like combine two different types of horror and like mold it together in this marriage that both feel authentic while still being like it's its own unique tone. It's very hard. It's very interesting. So yeah, this movie's great. As I said before, it uses spatial geography and lighting and its cinematography to its benefit, creating this super eerie, intense atmosphere at all times. Makes you think that, something's always in the dark or what's down the next corridor. The characters are really well realized. I didn't even really touch on how realistic they get. They just feel like you're watching people talk in these situations and stuff. Like, they react according to their characters so realistically and so believable. Every actor in this movie is so believable with their performances. But yeah, this movie plays with your expectations in the best and most entertaining way possible, and I think it's one of the best horror experiences of the year. So, I cannot give this thing a score. It's just, there's several movies this year that I think have that perfect factor. Like, you know, there's little problems and nitpicks with them, but they, like, for what they're going for, it's almost perfect. I think this is one of those movies that get it nearly perfect for me, at least, you know, for me. So I'm just going to give it a soft 9 and call it a day. Like, I can't think of anything wrong with this movie. This movie on purpose gives itself flaws to be super entertaining, as, you know, well as, like, you know, comparing contrasting character. I don't know. It's a 9. I'm going to keep it at a 9 for now. It might go up, it might go down. There's going to be an end of the year list, by the way, and I'm going to have different things change. I already want to change some scores like Jurassic World and some other ones, but yeah, this has been just another reviewer. Go see Barbarian. It's a great horror movie if that's your type of thing, if that's your cup of tea. Be on the lookout for the catch-up part 2. Please like and subscribe down below. Please hit the notification bell so you know when my videos come out, because otherwise I'll probably get lost in the mix, because the YouTube algorithm does not like me. It does not. Again, keep on the lookout for the catch-up part 2, Bullet Train. And if you didn't watch the last one, that was Elvis, and I might give that away. I don't know why I try to keep it a mystery. I might still keep it a mystery with which ones are coming out next, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, just another reviewer. Have a great day. Have a lavishly nice day. Don't go into any Airbnb that's double booked, and goodbye.